Hello, early years. I hope you enjoyed making your spiders and octopus yesterday and that they all had 8 legs. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the different shapes that we can make with 8 cubes or 8 squares. Please don't worry because I know that some of you haven't got the same things that we've got at school at home, which is fine. So I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can do it, and then you can choose depending on what you've got at home. So I know that some of you have got cubes at home because I've seen them on tapestry. So what I'd like you to do with your cubes is see how many different shapes you can make using 8 cubes. And if we were in the classroom, we'd be having a challenge to see who can make the most different ways. Maybe we could do that on tapestry. If you make lots of different ways, we'll see who makes the most. Okay, so I've made a few. When you've made your shapes, or as you're making them, have a chat with your grown-up about what you notice about them. Any patterns that you see or any different numbers that you can see. Just have a chat, see what you notice. Okay, so I've got a few shapes here. Let's have a little look. You might want to pause and look at them together, or you can just we'll look now and then you can look at your own when you make them. Okay, so here we go. This is our first one. We know it's made with 8 cubes because they've all got to be made with 8 cubes. But what do you notice about it? It is one big cube. Yeah. It's got 4 squares on each side. Very good. Okay, let's look at the next one. What do you notice about this shape? Fantastic. There's 5 at the bottom. Oh, sorry, 5 at the top and 3 at the bottom. Very good. Yeah, there's one sort of extra one at each end. And some of you might even notice that there is 6 in the middle. Great looking, everybody. What about this shape? What do we notice about this shape? It's a bit like a oo or a oo. Very good. Yeah, it's got 5 again and 3, or it's got 4 and 4. Yeah, very good. And what about this one? It does look like a robot. Yes, it does a bit. Yeah, and it's got 4 down the middle and 2 on each side. Very good. Or it's got 5 and 1 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Yeah, great looking, everybody. So if you're lucky enough to have cubes at home, you can do it with 8 cubes and see how many different shapes you can make. But don't worry if you haven't, because what you can do is you can cut up a piece of paper and make 8 squares with it. And you can fit them together and make your own shapes like this. And again, you can look at the different arrangements and the different patterns and see what you notice. So in this one, for example, you might notice that we've got 4 along the bottom, 3 along the top and 1 in the middle. Yeah. Let's have a look at the next one. This one, anybody notice anything about this one? You could notice that it's 3 and 3 and 2, or you could see that there's 6 there and 1 there and 1 there. We're all going to notice different things. So there's no right answers here. No wrong answers. There's lots of right answers. And we just want to know what you notice. Okay, what about this one? Looks a bit like a duck, this one. Yeah, we've got 3 here and 2 here. Or we've got that 6 again in the middle. And we've got 1 and 1. How about this one? Remember, if you want to look at them more closely, you can always pause the video and have a chat about them. Oh, do you know we've got that cheeky 6 coming in again, haven't we? With 1 there and 1 there. Interesting. Okay, and this one, again, we've got that 6 and we've got 2 here. Oh, now, what about this one? What do you notice about this one? Great, so both bits The top and the bottom are the same length, aren't they? And they've got the same number. They've both got 4. Yeah, so what does that tell us then about 8? Ah, it's made from 4 and 4. Really good, well done. And then this one's a bit of a funny one, this one. It's got all sorts of different numbers in there. You could look at it, could be a 5 and a 2 and a 1. Or it could be that you've got 1 there, 3, 2 and another 2. It's however you see it, whatever you notice. Okay, so those are 2 ways that you might like to do it. And if you fancy an extra challenge, we're also going to send you this sheet here, which looks at the number 8. But on this sheet, some of these shapes are not number 8. So what you need to do, if you want to do this, you don't have to. This is kind of an extra bit. You need to colour in the shapes that are 8. How are you going to be able to tell? And then at the bottom, it does ask you to draw your own 8 shapes, which is a little bit tricky. So if you don't want to do that bit, that's fine. If you've made them with the cubes and the paper, that's just as good. So it's entirely up to you today. It's a bit of a pick the way you want to do it day. Okay? But basically, the challenge today is to see how many different shapes you can make using 8 squares or 8 cubes. Have fun.